Land is known globally as a factor of production. This implies that land is a means of livelihood to individuals, families, communities, and a key contributor to the development of most African countries. These developments on land, especially subsistence agriculture in Africa, is largely undertaken by women whose land rights are considered secondary in the African context. It is estimated that women in Africa contribute up to 70% of food production and nearly half of all farm labor. But what is more disheartening is the fact that these women lack security on land and oftentimes are deprived of their rights to land ownership. This is because most cultures consider the boy children to inherit their father's property at the expense of the girl children. They believe that when girls get married, they belong to another clan and are expected to own land from their husbands. Unfortunately, even the few women who receive land from their husbands and parents have it grabbed from them by their relatives. However, these negative cultural prejudices contradict with the Holy Bible and Articles 26 and 33 of the 1995 Uganda Constitution, which emphasize property ownership as a right for all mankind.
The Bible clearly states that we are all equal, whether we're women or men, Gentiles or Jews. We are all God's people, we are all equal, and so it is very fitting and right for women to also possess property. It is, I think, a matter of educating people who have a mentality of thinking that everything belongs to the man and that the wife is the second party into the family. No, for us we know that a family is for a husband and a wife, so when the husband dies, the wife should take full ownership.
Every Ugandan is free to own land. A woman is equal to a man, and we have said this before. So women should also own the land. And we have been saying this, sensitizing the women. Land, if it is family land, it should be owned by both. The woman should have a right over that land, just like the husband does. It is wrong for anybody to come up and violate the rights of the woman over land. And of course, the systematic demarcation of the land that the ministry has started will in a way address this, because the women out there, we have widows with their families, and once we have demarcated the land, surveyed it and given them their title, then that is to me security to the women and the children down there in the villages.
If women's rights to access, own and utilize land are human rights not granted, why then do women continue to be treated with such disgrace? Many of such women have been helped by the Uganda Land Alliance and her sister partner organizations and individuals to defend their rights to own land.
For Uganda Land Alliance, it's critical that the nation at last recognizes that the rights of women on land are important and significant. One, because land is the major production asset and women are the users of this land. 80% of the agricultural labor force is made up of women. And at the end, when it comes to controlling proceeds, women have almost nothing to show for all their hard work.
One of the reasons why they don't use the land to make themselves better is because they don't have any decisions. They don't make any decisions on that same land. So what we are trying to do is to create awareness. If Uganda has to develop, women have to be part of the development. And so women must own the resources that contribute to that development, one of which being land.
Uganda Land Alliance is a consortium of national and international NGOs that lobby and advocate for fair land laws and policies to address land rights of the poor, disadvantaged, and vulnerable groups as well as individuals in Uganda. The alliance was set up in 1995 as a non-governmental, independent, and autonomous legal entity. It envisages Ugandan society where there is equitable access and control over land, and where the poor women, men, and children actively participate in eradicating poverty. Uganda Land Alliance adopts a rights-based approach in addressing inequalities against women by interpreting both legal and customary law in light of the international human rights instruments that provide a neutral ground for engagement. Through its land rights centers, paralegal programs, and working with member organizations, Uganda Land Alliance offers litigation and sensitizes communities to understand the law and women's rights as a means of economic empowerment. However, the number of women requiring such support simply overwhelms the available capacity. While Uganda Land Alliance needs increased capacity to bring a smile on the faces of hundreds of suffering women in many parts of the country, the organization calls upon government to quickly implement policies that reduce the number of new cases being registered.
Uganda has made several international commitments through agreements that they will support or promote the rights of women on land, and we are not seeing this coming into existence. We see the Constitution explicitly saying men and women are equal before, during, and after marriage. But in terms of land ownership, we are not seeing progress being made towards making this equality come into being. So this documentary is a way to encourage and to start up a campaign to say, look here, government of Uganda, you made commitments and you must fulfill these commitments.
Several women in Uganda today face challenges of land ownership, especially in rural areas. The problem is being escalated by ignorance of communities and lower local governments.
I don't know whether LCs need refresher courses, training on. Actually, this would be a needs assessment. Our local council committees and chairpersons need to be sensitized as to what they can do and what they shouldn't do, because a matter of land is a matter of life. The most valuable thing. The claims are there and you're playing in land. At the end, after the LC's decision, somebody's coming up with trespass, malicious damage to property. A lot of criminal cases coming up because of a single land case, which would have been disposed of once and for all.
While 83% of women in Uganda are engaged in agricultural production and over 90% in food production and processing, only 25.5% own or control land that they cultivate. This therefore underpins women's ability to feel secure in their homes, make income, and participate effectively. 61-year-old Ganyana Florence is a single mother and grandmother looking after orphans in Hoima district. She was born outside wedlock, and when her stepmother divorced, Ganyana took care of her father, who had fallen seriously sick. Ganyana's father later died but left a will allocating property to all his children, with Ganyana inheriting a house and part of the land. This inheritance became the source of conflict between Ganyana, her stepmother, and brothers. Her stepmother and brothers could not believe that a woman is inheriting their marital home. They then engaged Ganyana in court battles, but because she could not afford paying a private lawyer, Ganyana sought for free legal services.
The prejudices and historical perspective that were held by her brothers that women should not inherit the property of their father, at least was put aside. Because at the end of the day, the property was shared in equal shares. Ganyana took her portion, though of course against the will, but at least she took her portion. A reality on the ground, meaning Ganyana has benefited as a daughter. Even if she was a wife somewhere, she ended up being a beneficiary in the estate of her late father. Presently, she's not destitute, she's not homeless. Nobody will threaten her with eviction in the little portion that she got.
Information available at the Legal Aid Project of the Uganda Law Society, a member of the Uganda Land Alliance, indicates that 70% of the cases handled relate to land conflicts and women feature the most. The situation is not different from other parts of the country. In Chenjejo district, Western Uganda, Cecilia Chenda, a widow and mother of 5 children, nearly lost her land inherited from her father when her son secretly sold it to their relatives. But on realizing the secret deal, Chenda reported the matter to the land rights authorities, who then tasked the son to refund the money.
Ebintu baize babitwamu twatunga obusinge mu kutunga obusinge oli agarurwe oli sentesi ebintu ebyo niko obusinge bubyo sente zogu bazimugarurire Robert habwe kisaka kyakabatunzira atarikumanya.
In Jinja, eastern Uganda, Rukia Kigaiga, a widow and mother of 7 children, was nearly left destitute by her brother-in-law. Upon the death of her husband, Rukia was left to inherit the property of her husband to enable her look after her orphans. But this could not work out, as her brother-in-law was demanding to take over the land as well as the property. When she resisted the advance, he then threatened to cut her into pieces with a panga. What saved Rukia were the sensitization campaigns that were going on in her village at the time, conducted by women's land rights activists, which she attended.
Beka tulikwenda obujulizi obulaga ng'enumba iyo epoloti iyo nze kyo mukisa omulungi wali ebiwandiiko kuba mama nangobi yali yantendeka ku musomo gwa paralege nga nsobola okulwanirira ebintu ebyange n'abaana bange era ebintu ebyo ne byawoza mu kooti nze kyayogera mu kooti.
Today, the challenge women land rights activists face is the limited number of empowered women with an understanding of their land rights. Most affected are the less educated and entangled with poverty. However, women legal entities under the hospice of Uganda Land Alliance that offers free legal services and mediation are lending them a hand. 56 years old Aya Santa is a living testimony of the support from Uganda Land Alliance. Her land was saved from grabbers. Santa, a resident of Pader district, is a widow with dependents. She inherited the land from her late husband through the father-in-law. Since she could not plow the entire piece of land, Santa temporarily gave part of it to a close family friend. But Santa's kindness caused problems for her as the friend attempted to grab the land following Santa's long ailment.
Uganda land wa tiar ka ponye bodgi. Ti gyo chaw lok mi ngom. Ti dong kar ma go chaw lok mi ngom. Kar ma dong anda ne an lok kan pinia da tiar wa tiar ka ponye me ki choy wa ki upit kan. Ti dong kar ma tiar ka ponye Uganda land no u chaw lok. Le gen tie gen mi gen konyo monto mano ngam gu dong ki tian ki ti dong ben ana yi le ti acha penyu gi awe an ngam ma ko betini ki tika lar ne si won ram ko ne ki ye si en na dir chane wanu loy wi wane wati an mi ra tiata hu pit ge gen ram ko na en ne we ko dong ana wunyu lo ki no ne da cha kar ma dugu gang a lo ka dok si adon ko upit ge si gan be uye la den meti ne be uye li en ram ko nya ju we ko yan be cha lo ko ngwa man enini watin en puti ka ngo ka yele ye en to kana en kwa nyu do ko ti ma en ri tali ye ni duju ko be cha na junti ka meta mer ki pur ne ge kwa nyu puri en ne dong ana ti ka wati mer ki pan ngwa ma duju ki duki ki ti ya won mer meta ki ko nya ki lok me ada.
This 60-acre piece of land belongs to the late Esther Asiro in Amuru district. The late Asiro was blind and had acquired the land from her late husband to accommodate their children. But when the area was elevated to a town council level, the authorities picked interest in developing her land. Unfortunately, some selfish individuals wanted to take advantage of her blindness to reap from her land. She received support from land rights activists in the district to attain legal redress, but Asiro was called by her creator soon after winning the court case. She never lived to enjoy the fruits of her struggle. And today, her orphans are not sure of how long they are to stay on their land, where they now live almost as squatters.
Megu obedo kany kidongi binu nongi lumo mere megu ni uchiri office pa town clerk kaka en tini gimiro chulo megu kodo kwero chi cheni en nong lalo gin ludi gin town council gi moko ni ikum eka piera bichieli no tie million 100 piario ko million 100 piario ni million piera biro gimiyo gimegu ni million piera bidong gimiyo dong kiki nyera Simon ka megni pa chiro ka signing kuja chi megni ba keng chene matwal kwa ngome no weng pa ba no.
All this is simply a tip of the iceberg. Many women go through a lot of hassle to ensure that their property rights are protected despite the existence of several legal instruments. This therefore makes women to believe that the struggle is more than equality, as conveyed in the statute books. They call for translation of this equality into practice that can dramatically alter the insecurity, disempowerment, and abuse associated with poverty and inequality. Women's right to land is indeed a struggle for equal citizenship. But as the struggle continues, a 70-year-old Manasseh Achol Pule of Apache confirms that many men are now getting convinced that indeed women deserve their right to land. Although traditionally women do not sit in meetings with men, the fight for equal rights has the two parties sit together to discuss various issues.
Nowadays, the land belongs to all people of Uganda. Women, men, disabled, they must own the land because they have right by the law to own land. Our clan don't want anybody to sell the land. It's an offense if you do it. Now, you better ask your wife first that let's sell this woman, this land because of somebody is sick, very sick, or school fees, or for marriage.